Okay. Well, again, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Brigham Joy. I'm the founder of America's team. And what we'll do today is I'll give you a little bit of history about America's team, and then we'll go over some frequently asked questions. And then I'll let you guys fire away with, whatever questions you guys have. And yeah, for your questions, if you can just throw them in the chat, and then I'll just run through them after the FAQs. We'll go that way. All right. So our history, how this whole thing got started was I played small college baseball here in Kansas and got the opportunity to go to Germany as a college kid and play baseball. And guys, it is the coolest thing I have ever done. And it really doesn't have anything to do with baseball, because we were over there, and about the second day, they took us to the Dachau concentration camp. And guys, that rocked my world. That was like the good Lord just came down and shook me and said, "Hey, there's a big world out here. You need to go see it." So that was my life-changing aha moment. But today's about your story and how we can help you go see the world. So fast forward, I graduate from college, I go get a job, and quickly realize working sucks. Like, guys, I don't recommend it to anybody. So at 26 years old, I decide, what, if I have to work, I might as well do something that I love. So I started taking baseball teams overseas. And that was almost 20 years ago, because right now you're looking at a 44-year-old kid. And we've been lucky enough to grow this to baseball, basketball, volleyball, and softball. And guys, my goal is simply to give you the same opportunity I had. That's it, because it changed my life. And that's what I'm hoping to do for you guys too, is just let you have the opportunity to go see the world and do it through your sport. So that's the history of America's team. Now the first question that everybody has is, how did I get invited? And how we build all of our teams, or how we get all of our players, is we work with college coaches all across the country that send us the players on their recruiting databases that they see, out on the recruiting trail. So the coaches send in their recommendations to us, and then we throw all those players into one big database, and then very unscientifically, we just divide that database by the destinations, and then we send out invitations, to you guys, and that's how we find the players. That's how we build our teams. And then, as far as once we get all the kids signed up, what we do is we look to find out where everybody plays, and we then divide up the players into teams based on what positions you guys play, because we want to have good balanced teams. Like on our volleyball teams, we don't want just a bunch of front row kids and not have any back row. And with basketball, we don't want just a bunch of post players. We need some guards too. So we try and build our teams balanced. And the other thing is, we like to keep our rosters small. For, let's see, softball, we don't like to carry more than 12. And then for volleyball and basketball, we don't like to carry more than 10. And the reason we want to keep our rosters so small is, I know you guys are wanting to go play overseas, not watch overseas. So we want to make sure and keep our rosters small so everybody gets a lot of playing time. So let me check my notes here, make sure I got all right, so we got that going. All right. Now your tour schedule, how this will work out is, the first couple days, that's your tournament. And that's just like being here at home, where you're living at the ball field, living at the gym. You're playing multiple games per day. for those first 3 days. And then after the tournament is over, then the sport is done. Like the volleyball's done, the basketball, softball, it's done. And then the rest of the time is spent exploring as much of that country as we can. So it's really, if you look at it, it's like two separate mini tours. You've got the tournament up front where it's all games. And then after that, it's all fun and going out and exploring the culture. So that's how the tour shakes out. And as far as games go, each team is guaranteed a minimum of 6 games. So you could get more depending on how your team does in the tournament, but at a minimum, every team will get 6. So let's see here. Okay, the next on my list is what's included. So I'll go over both what is included and what's not included, so you guys, have a good full picture of that. So what is included? You've got your flights and hotels, your games and uniforms, all the tours and excursions that we take you guys on, your tour bus, your tour manager, breakfast and dinner every day, and then even tips are included. So there's no tipping of your tour guide or your local guides. Like we've even included the tips. So that's everything that is included. So what's not included is lunch every day and spending money. So other than you're going to need money for lunch and then spending money, everything else is included. So the next thing I wanted to cover are flights, because we've got kids coming from all over the country playing on our teams. So let's use Italy, for example, today. And let's say the departure city for Italy is New York City. So I'm from Kansas City. Let's say we have another kid from Denver and then another kid from Dallas. Let's just stick with the D's. So what we're going to do is when I register, I'm going to select Kansas City as my departure city. Then the kid from Dallas will select Dallas as their departure city. And then the kid from Denver will select their departure city as Denver. So what's going to happen is all 3 of us, we're going to leave from our home airport. So I'm going to leave from Kansas City. That kid will leave from Denver. That kid will leave from Dallas. We will all converge on New York City. So everybody will fly to New York, meet up, and then from New York, we'll fly to Italy together. So that's how the flights work. So that's why when you register, it's important, don't register from New York if you live in Kansas City, because that means we will book you out of New York. So make sure that you register from the city that you want to depart from. So, okay. So the next thing is safety and chaperones. So at a minimum, there will be 2 chaperones for the team. So the first chaperone is your college coach. They're going to be, that first chaperone, because every team is led by a college coach. So that's the first one. And then the second one is we employ a full-time bilingual local professional tour manager that's from the country you're visiting. So if you go to Italy, you're going to have a local Italian with you 24/7. And this person, they run the tour. They take care of all the logistics, like, making sure the bus is there to pick us up and take us to the gym, calling ahead to restaurants, making sure the restaurants are ready, calling ahead to the tour. When we go to the Coliseum, we're going to make sure that that's set up for us. So they're going to run all of the logistics, because I want the college coach focused on you guys. That's where I want their attention. I don't want the college coach trying to figure out, where do I park the bus after the game? Like, I want the coach focused on you. So at a minimum, there'll be 2 chaperones for each team. And the reason I say at a minimum is we average 6 parents that travel with each team. So parents, you guys are more than welcome to travel. And I guess I should expand on that. Family members are more than welcome to travel. So mom and dad, brother, sister, grandma and grandpa, aunt, uncle, you guys are more than welcome to travel. So, and that's why I say at a minimum, there'll be 2 adults for the team, but I know a handful of parents are gonna, tag along too. So let's see here. Um, Another common question is, um, oh, let's see, how will this help me out with college? Because I know all of you guys want to go and play at the next level, and that's awesome. So, 2 ways it's going to help. Number one is you're going to get to play in front of college coaches all week. So that's number one. Then number two, and this is by far the more important one, is you're going to be able to network with those college coaches all week. So here's an example. Let's say I'm a 2025 point guard, but my coach at her school, she's already locked in a 2025 point guard, so she doesn't need one. But she's going to know half a dozen other coaches that are looking for a 2025 point guard. Because, guys, the coaching network is so tight. They all know each other, they all talk to each other. So, by networking with the coaches that coach you overseas, you're just growing your own network to help you out for your recruiting. And, guys, I can't state that enough is network, network, network. So do that with these coaches. Let's see. The registration deadline. So the players, you guys got your invitation, and you have 30 days from when you get your invitation to sign up and pay your deposit to lock in your spot. So, for example, if you got your invitation today, August 1st, you would have until September 1st to sign up and pay your deposit to lock in your spot. So the sense of urgency is getting the players signed up. Now, mom and dad, parents, family members, you guys can take your time. As long as you guys get signed up by January 1st, that is perfectly fine because there's no limit to how many family members we can take. So we can take everybody if they wanted to go. But we're only going to carry so many kids on a team. So the sense of urgency is getting the kids signed up within that 30-day window. So that's the registration deadline. Then your payment schedules is your deposit is $495, and what ACIS allows people to do, you can break that $495 deposit into 2 payments. So you can pay $200 when you sign up, and then 30 days later you can pay $295 if you want to. Or if you just want to pay the $495 and just be done with it, that's perfectly fine too. So you'll have the $495 is due as your deposit. Then by January 1st, another $1,000 is due. So you would have paid in a total of $1,495 by January 1st. So you paid in $1,495, it's January 1, and then final payment deadline depends on when you travel. So if you travel in June, your final payment deadline is February 17th. If you travel in July, your final payment deadline is March 1st. And then if you travel in August, your final payment deadline is April 1st. So your final payment staggered depending on when you travel. So, okay. Whew. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm tired. All right. So I think that's everything. So I'm going to get a drink of water, and then I will look at these chat questions, and yeah, we'll just knock out your questions here. All right, start from the top here. I tried to open the itinerary, cost and dates for Italy volleyball. Page is not found. Can we get a better link? Yeah, let's see here. Italy volleyball, that should be com/I 2024 ITVB. So yeah, see if that works for you. And I'm also going to I'm going to put my email address in here because here's a question that comes up is let's say I got invited to play volleyball in Italy, but the dates don't work for me. Well, if the dates don't work, send me an email requesting another invitation because we can invite you to another team during, different parts of the summer. So if for whatever reason, if the destination that, we invited you to doesn't work, shoot me an email and I can invite you to another destination. Um, let's see here. What's the next question? Do you know who the coach for Spain basketball team will be? No, we haven't assigned coaches yet. So what we'll do, and this is a great question for timelines. So once all the players are signed up, we'll then divide them up into teams. And then once we get the teams formed, we will then assign the college coach. And then from there, the college coach will reach out and introduce themselves and start that team building process, throughout the months. And our goal is to get you guys introduced to your coach no later than December. So by December, you should have your coach and they should be in contact with you. So, but great question. Let's see here. I was wondering how we get our gear there for softball. Okay, so yeah, this is a great question. So you guys are responsible for your own gear. So volleyball and basketball players, that's really easy for you guys because it's shorts and knee pads and that's about it. Softball players, you guys are responsible for your bats, your helmets, your gloves, cleats. If you're a catcher, you're responsible for your own catcher's gear. So with the airlines, like going to Europe and to Australia, every person is allowed one checked bag and one carry-on bag. So that should be plenty for you guys. If you do check a second bag, the airlines will charge you for an extra baggage fee. So that's for any European destination and Australia. For the Dominican Republic, no bags are free. So the airlines are going to charge you for each checked bag. So I guess you're going to have to budget in there, an extra baggage fee. So, but that's a great question. Let's see, what's the next one? Can we change destination site instead of Australia? Yes. So Albert, just email me and I can get you an invitation to another destination for sure. Yep. So how many kids are on each team? For softball, we don't like to carry more than 12. And then for volleyball and basketball, we don't like to carry more than 10. How many teams are there? That varies by destination. So let's see, the Dominican and Costa Rica, we shoot for 4. Italy can do 3. Germany can do 6. And then Spain and Australia can do 8. And the reason the numbers vary is what we shoot for is a 1-to-1 ratio for American teams and international teams. So, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to have 5 US teams and then 1 Italian team, because then you guys are just playing each other and that defeats the whole purpose. So with us going, let's just use Italy as the example. We can bring 3 teams to Italy because Italy can guarantee that we'll have at least 3 Italian teams, because we want to keep that 1-to-1 ratio. That way you guys are getting that international experience versus just playing other US teams all the time. How do we know that our kids will get playing time? Trust me, we keep our rosters small. That way all the kids get a lot of playing time. And that's what we build our program on, is giving kids that experience. So yes, if your kid goes, they are going to play and they're going to play a lot. What is the cost of the trip? That should be in your invitation. Ballpark, and it differs by destination. Like Australia is about 6,500, Italy is about 58, Spain's about 54, Germany's about 51, and then Costa Rica and the Dominican are about $4,000. So, and that'll be in everybody's invitation. I have a lot of allergies. Will you be able to accommodate dietary needs? Absolutely. So yes, you're not alone. We have, you know, it seems like gluten, shellfish, peanut allergies. So yes, allergies are no problem. We can absolutely handle that. We would have you, fill out a form that we have, and then we'll note it in your account, and then the tour manager takes care of it, while overseas. So yes, absolutely, that's no problem at all, Sydney. If you got an invite and you're all right, let's see here. If you got invite, are you already a part of the 12 on the softball team? No. So, Leanne, you're not part of that 12 until you register and pay your deposit. So, if you want to be part of that 12, make sure you get all your questions answered, and then go ahead, sign up, put down your deposit, and that locks your spot in to be part of that team of 12. So, and just, I guess, to expand on that, to give you kind of an idea of the numbers that it takes. So we know that it takes about 150 invitations to build a team of 12 softball players. And then for volleyball and basketball, it takes about 120 invitations to build a team of 10, because we have about an 8% close rate that do this. So that's how many invitations it takes to build one team. Let's see. What would be the cost for parents? Cost for family members, the base cost is the same. Then any traveler 24 or older has the $100 adult surcharge added onto it. And the reason for that is when we negotiate with our vendors for all the tours and excursions we take you guys on, they give us the youth prices. And then when we show up with adults, they charge us the full fare. So parents are actually a little bit more expensive. So, for Italy, for example, if the kid costs 5,800, the parent is going to cost 5,900. All right. If the family travels separate, will we be able to attend games? Yes, you can absolutely attend the ball games, but if you travel on your own, that's what I want to stress is you are on your own, meaning you won't get any of our services, can't stay in the hotel, can't get on the bus, can't get on the tours with us, no meals. I mean, you're taking your own family vacation and watching the games. But other than that, you are absolutely on your own. But yes, you can if you want to. Okay, let's see here. Jayla has a question. What about those who are class of 2024 and they're spending that summer committing to a college? So, Jayla, I think you might be asking if you're a 2024 grad and you're wanting to use this as a recruiting opportunity. I don't know that you're going to be able to do that. I think you might be too late in the game. So you could absolutely go and travel with us. But if you're looking at it as a way to get signed, I think I would tell you to stay home and probably focus on getting signed. I guess I don't know that would be the best way to go get signed for a college, if that makes sense. But if that is not your question, let me know. See, I think that's what you're asking. Okay, this is a good question. In case of an injury before the trip, what are options as far as money paid or future trips? So, great question. So, get travel insurance. You can get it through us, or you can go out on the marketplace and go get your own travel insurance. Either way, go get it, because just like Ariana's talking about, life happens. The best example I can give is, you know, let's say, you don't have to have the insurance versus getting insurance. So let's say it's a week before the trip and you slide into second base and you break your ankle. Well, if you don't have the insurance, you better hobble on that airplane. If you do have the insurance, file a claim, get your money back. So, guys, absolutely get travel insurance, and you don't have to get it through us. You can go out and get it on your own, but get travel insurance. So, okay, can you speak on fundraising? Sure. So when you sign up, ACIS is going to provide you with a fundraising page that you can send out to everybody in your network. And guys, the key here is I would send it out, but then I would also follow up with people, and if you can follow up with people in person, that's going to be better for you, because it's a lot like selling Girl Scout cookies. We all know that we don't need Girl Scout cookies, but if an 8-year-old girl knocks on your door, you're not going to tell her no. And it's the same thing with you guys. If you guys knock on people's door, talk to them about the opportunity that you have and ask them for help, they're not going to tell you no to your face. Versus like if you give mail a letter, we get solicitations all the time. They're gonna throw that away. They can't throw you away if you're at their door. So absolutely go do that. And how the fundraising page works on ACIS is it's just like a GoFundMe where they can donate online, but where it differs from GoFundMe is GoFundMe charges a 10% commission. All of your money with the ACIS website goes to your travel expenses. So there's no commission taken out of that. Okay, so Cameron, you had 2 questions here. Do you require an updated physical? No, we don't. You don't have to have an updated physical. And do you handle visas? No, you guys are responsible for getting your own visa. We will send you the link to get a visa, but as far as actually going out and applying for it, that would be your responsibility. All right. Do we have a trainer on staff or injuries? So we don't have a trainer on staff, but we're part of a worldwide network of doctors and hospitals called Team Assist. So what this is again, it's a worldwide network of doctors and hospitals. So if anything happens to one of our kids, we already know which doctors are going to see our kids and which hospitals we're going to take the kids to. So there's never, a moment of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? The tour manager's already got in his, booklet, hey, we're at this field. So that means if something happens, I'm calling this doctor and seeing this, calling this hospital and seeing this doctor. There's never any guesswork on our part. So we've got that covered. And guys, not to scare you, but injuries happen. I mean, every year, we're taking kids to the hospital, whether it's getting hit by a pitch or, coming down on somebody's foot during a basketball game, so injuries happen and we're prepared for them. So just don't get hurt. All right. How many guaranteed games? Each team gets a minimum of 6. So I've lived in Milan. Some areas are quite sketchy. What's security for the team? So that's where, having that local tour manager they're going to keep us out of those sketchy areas. So again, at a minimum, you're going to have 2 chaperones for the team, the coach and the local tour manager. So let's see here. What's the next one? How are accommodations done? Okay, so rooming. Yep. So in the Dominican, Costa Rica, and Europe, our standard room is it's a triple. So it's 3 people in a room. You'd have 3 twin beds. So that's the standard rooming. Ideally, and I should say, really, rooming is up to you. I would encourage you to let your daughter room with her teammates. But again, if you and she want to room together as a parent, that's perfectly fine. You can absolutely do that because, you know, your wish as a parent trumps mine as the tour operator. So if you guys want to room together, that's perfectly fine. I would just say from an experience standpoint, let the kids room together. And then one thing you should know is, let's say that a parent and a kid do want to room together. You can absolutely do that. You can stay in a double room with just the 2 of you, but you will be charged the double room surcharge. So again, you can absolutely do that, but I would advise letting the kids room on their own. All right, let's see here. Where are you guys located and where will you practice? Okay, we won't practice because we're building our teams with kids all over the country. So the first time that you guys actually meet all of your teammates in person will be at the airport getting ready to fly overseas. So that's the first question. Then secondly, where are we located? So I live and work in Spring Hill, Kansas. It's a suburb of Kansas City. And then ACIS is based in Boston. So that's where they're at. For traveling, do the parents require any vaccines? No. So COVID vaccines are not required anywhere we travel. They were a couple of years ago, but now no COVID vaccinations are required. So that's nice. Let's see here. Can you ask businesses for donations? Absolutely, you can ask businesses for donations. That does not violate any regulations. So yeah, you are perfectly fine there. So Nevaeh wants to know if we get picked up from a college or after high school and you can't go to Australia. That leads into the insurance question. So Nevaeh, if you didn't have insurance, no, you would not get all of your money back. If you did have insurance, yes, you could file a claim and the insurance company would give you your money back. So, but I don't think that'll happen if you get picked up from a college because they typically don't start right then. But the bigger question is, if you have to cancel, you need the insurance to get a full refund. Let's see if I can get, when you say visa, is that AKA passport? No, a passport and a visa are 2 separate things. Everybody will need a passport, so you'll have to get your own passport. Not everybody will need a visa. So traveling to Europe, not Europe, Australia, you'll need a visa. Okay, so we need, there's one less than a minute left, so I'm going to close here. We have these Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you guys have more questions, hop on more Zooms. The next step, if you're ready to sign up and lock in your spot, register, pay your deposit. That locks you in. But again, we have these Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you think of something later, hop back on. And if you need anything else, you can shoot me an email too. So other than that, I think it's getting ready to kick us off. Happy Tuesday. I'll see you guys later.